Okay, now we need to add Entity Framework from NuGet. If you're using Visual Studio, you can use NuGet Package Manager Console. But here in VS Code, we don't have Package Manager Console, so we need to use Terminal. Now, I personally always use the terminal inside VS Code because it's very handy, but because it's in the bottom of the screen, it's a little bit hard for you to see it. So in the videos, I'm going to use the terminal window inside the operating system. So if you're using Visual Studio, in Package Manager Console, you run install package, and then add the package name here. Here we don't have Package Manager Console, so we're going to use .NET CLI, .NET Command Line Interface. So .NET add package. Now the first package we need to install is Microsoft Entity Framework Core .SQL Server. Okay, now when you go back to VS Code, it tells you that there are unresolved dependencies. So basically, when we execute .NET add package, it adds an entry to our csproj file. So here you can see the before and after version of csproj file. You can see here we have a new line, a package reference, and that's referencing Microsoft.Entity Framework Core.SQL Server. And the version is 1.1.1 at the time of recording this video. Now, once we add this to csproj, the next step is to restore this package, which involves downloading it from NuGet or from the cache on our machine. So to restore it, we can either use this option here, or we can go to terminal and execute .NET restore. I find this easier. So every time I add a package, then I type .NET restore. Beautiful. Now we can close this. So we installed Entity Framework, but we should also install Entity Framework command line tools. So in Visual Studio, in Package Manager Console, you have seen this command before, add migration or update database. These are Entity Framework commands that we need to install separately. So once again, back in VS Code, we're going to open up our csproj file. Now on top of this file, earlier in the last section, we added this item group. And here we have a reference to Microsoft.NET Watcher tools. So anytime we want to install command line tools, we should add them using this structure here. So I'm going to select this item group, hold down Shift, Alt, and press the down arrow. This duplicates it. Now I'm going to change the package name. If you're using Visual Studio, you should use Microsoft Entity Framework Core.Tools, and the version is 1.1.0. So this installs Entity Framework commands for Package Manager Console. But because we don't have Package Manager Console here, we need to use a different package. So we need to add .NET in the package name. So this package is specifically for .NET CLI, .NET Command Line Interface. And the version is different because it's a completely different package. So the version at the time of recording this video is 1.0.0. Save. Now once again in the terminal, .NET restore. This is exactly like npm install. Okay? Now we should have a bunch of Entity Framework commands that are available via .NET CLI. So if we type .NET EF, you can see the commands that are available to us. So we have database, DB context, and migrations. Let's say we want to use the migrations command, but we don't know how to use it. We can type .NET EF migrations --help. So here are our options, and below that are the additional commands. So we can add a migration, we can list available migrations, we can remove a migration, and we can generate a SQL script from migrations. So once again, let's say I want to add a migration, but I don't know how to use it. So .NET EF migrations add --help. And again, you can see the list of available options. Okay, we have successfully installed Entity Framework. Next, we're going to create a DB context.